Hello and welcome to the Employee Self-Service demonstration. My name is Melanie and I'm one of the HR Systems Administrators. So as a team, we've noticed an increase in the amount of emails and telephone calls that we're receiving from employees requiring help accessing ESR. So the purpose of today's demonstration is to provide you with the information and knowledge you need to be able to retrieve or reset your login credentials and to show you how to navigate your way around the different sections in the ESR portal. So MS Teams is not perfect, so you may find that during the demonstration you're not able to see some of the pop-up boxes that I select. However, you will have full functionality when you access your own record. So to access the ESR link in work, you would need to open up an Internet Explorer page and you'll be then taken to the staff intranet, which is what you can see in front of you now. So on the top bar, you'll see the ESR link, which you can click. This is one way into ESR. The other way is to click on your favorites, which is just the star icon at the top. Select the Cumbria Partnership folder and then click on ESR. That will then take you through to the ESR Hub. So the ESR Hub was launched on the 5th of October 2020 and is the new gateway to ESR. So from here, you can access all the information you may need, including links to other ESR websites. If you click on the Login to ESR link on the top right-hand corner of the page, then this will open up the ESR login page. To access ESR from home, you'd need to open up an Internet Explorer and then type in https://my.esr.nhs.uk into the address bar. You'll then be taken to the ESR Hub page where you can click on the Log into ESR and this will then take you to the login page. You can also download the MyESR app to your Apple or Android device. So for an Apple device, you would go to the App Store and search ESR app. For an Android device, you would go to Google Play and search MyESR. If you are recorded as a supervisor in ESR and are required to enter absence and appraisals as part of your job role, then you would need to log into ESR using a smart card. To do this, you should pop your smart card into the reader, which can be located at the side of your keyboard or laptop that you're using. You'll then be asked to enter your passcode. Your passcode is not something that HR systems will provide you with. On the ESR login page, you would need to select Login via smart card, and this will take you straight through to the ESR portal page. So from here, you would just navigate your way down to the bottom of the screen and you'd click on Login via smart card. To obtain your login username and password for the very first time, or to request a password reset if you've forgotten your username or password, you should click on the Forgotten Request Username Password Unlock Account link. That you will then be required to enter your trust email address. This must be recorded in ESR for this to work. And so you would enter your trust email address in there and you would enter your date of birth. You'd leave the username field blank and then you would click on submit. If you receive a message saying that your details have not been recognised, then it is likely that your email address has not been recorded in ESR. at which point you should contact your line manager, who will be able to add your trust email address to your employee record in ESR, or organise a trust email address if you haven't already got one. The email that you receive from ESR will contain your username, which will start with 262, followed by your first initial and part of your surname, and 2 numbers. You should make a note of this username and keep it in a safe place for future reference. The email will also contain a link which you will need to click on to create or reset your password. The password criteria for ESR is very strict. This is to protect you from anyone gaining access to your ESR record, where they could potentially be able to view all your personal details, such as your home address, your bank details, and your job details. So your password must be 8 characters or more in length, contain at least 1 letter, 1 number, 1 uppercase, and 1 lowercase character, not be the same as any previous passwords used, not contain any repeating or sequential characters or numbers, so for example ABC or 1, 2, 3. It must not contain any 2 letters or numbers the same next to each other. And it must not contain any information that can be related back to you. So, for example, part of your date of birth or your name or your job title or anything. If you receive a message stating that the password you're trying to use is recorded on the list of restricted passwords, this means that you've entered a password which contains a word that has been repeatedly used or requested in the past and is therefore considered to be unsecure. So in this instance, you would just need to try something else. Once you've created your password, you'll be able to go back to the ESR login page and enter your username and password to log in. If you log in at work with a username and password, then you will automatically be approved for access from home, and you would use the same login credentials that you do in work to gain access to ESR. If, however, you log in at work via a smart card, then once you've gained access for the first time, you would need to request internet access. To do this, you would click on Manage Internet Access, which can be located at the top of your portal page. You would then click on Request Internet Access. Your request will then automatically be approved, and you'll be able to view your ESR username and create yourself a password so that you can log into ESR from home. Please note that you'll not have access to supervisor self-service when you log into ESR using a username and password. You can only get access to this when you log in via your smart card at work. You can also view the password policy in this section. So it's not possible for you to reset your login credentials for ESR from home unless you have access to the Trust network and your work emails. For security reasons, we only record Trust email addresses in ESR, and you need to be able to access your emails to receive the password reset link. HR systems are not able to reset passwords on your behalf. Therefore, you would need to go to your nearest Trust site so that you could access a computer and request a password reset. The profile we are going to view today has been created purely for the purposes of this demonstration. So there will be sections in ESR that I'll go through where there will be no data. That is because obviously this is not a genuine employee. So to log in, you would enter your username that you've received in the email. and then you would click login via username, password. So you will then be taken to your ESR portal page where you can view and change all your personal information, view and request your annual leave, and access your e-learning, plus lots more. So starting from the top, if you can, here you can see that you've got two notifications. This is workflow notifications. So this is where you can view a system delivered message. So for example, confirmation that you've enrolled onto an e-learning course, confirmation that you've submitted an annual leave request. You'll also receive a workflow notification if your annual leave has been approved or declined, and you can view any changes to your employment details in here as well. In this section, you've got announcements. So this can contain both local and national messages. The latest 20 messages will rotate automatically. And if you want to see a particular announcement in more detail, then you would just need to click on the announcement page. In here, you've got My Payslip and P60. So this section will contain your employee number and your job details, along with your most recent payslip and P60. You've also got the option to turn on an email when a new payslip is available. This means that when your new payslip is uploaded to ESR, you'll receive an email to let you know there's a new payslip to view. You're also able to view previous payslips and P60s by clicking on the relevant link, where you'll be able to select the assignment number that you wish to view if you have more than one. You've also got the option to change the year of the payslip you wish to view, and then in the payslip section, that will list all the payslips that are available for you to view. In the My e-learning section, you have the option to show only your mandatory learning in this section, which will then show all the courses available, whether they've been attempted or not, whether they've been completed or not, and you can use the arrows to navigate your way through the different mandatory training courses. You can also click on the play button, and this will play the course selected in a new window. In here, you've got My Personal Information. So if you click on the little arrow at the side of your name, you can see you can view your home address, your home phone number, your personal mobile number, personal email address, and your position details. You can also update any of this information by clicking on Update My Personal Information. In this section here, you've got useful links, so you can click on the different sections to view guidance and information about the other systems that we use. So for example, if you wanted guidance on how to claim mileage, then you would click on the My Expenses section. If you wanted to view guidance on how to claim for extra hours or enhancements worked, then you would do that through the My Timesheet section. If the department that you work for uses eRoster, then you've got the guidance and information in the roster section, and you can also view your e-learning in this section as well. In the My Appraisal and Review section, you can see when your last appraisal was, the type of appraisal that you had, when your next appraisal is due, and when your next increment is due. Other than this, no further information in relation to your appraisal or what was discussed during your appraisal is entered into ESR. In this section, you've got my equality and diversity. So this information in here is pulled through from NHS Jobs, where you will have entered the information initially. Again, you can view that by clicking on View Details, and if you believe any of the information to be incorrect, you can also update this by clicking on the Update My Information. You've got useful contacts in this section. So if you wanted to contact HR systems or payroll and pensions, the e-roster team, the bank and agency team, or the internal training team, you've got links to those contact details. You've got the annual leave section here, so you're able to view your annual leave entitlement, see how much annual leave you've taken and how much you have remaining. You can click on the links to view your annual leave or to create annual leave. Not everyone in the trust is currently using ESR to request their annual leave at present. So prior to the trusts merging, only the acute side were using this functionality. However, there are plans in place to phase this in for the wider trust, and that should happen between April and October this year. You've then got my total reward statement section. So in here, you can view your total reward statement. This is an annual statement and it's uploaded every year in August. If you have any queries in relation to the information held in this section, there's also a helpline email address when you click on View My TRS. So everything that's in this main body here of the portal page can also be accessed by the list at the side. So for example, if you were to click on My Personal Information, you'll see there it brings up several subcategories. So if you wanted to view your address and your home phone number, email address, then you would click on Personal Information. If you wanted to view or amend your emergency contact details, then you would click on Contacts. You've then got other information, and so qualifications, so that will show any qualifications providing that they are recorded in ESR. You have your sexual orientation, religious belief, disability information, and registrations and memberships. You've then got My Pay and Rewards. So if you click at the side of that to expand the category, you can view your payslip, your P60, you can view and change your bank account details, and you can view your total reward statement in here as well. You've then got My Learning, My Compliance and Competency. You can click on My Absence and view your absence calendar or summary. You've got My Appraisals and Reviews and My Employment. So if you click on to expand the My Employment, you'll be able to see your employment information, whether there's any flexible working, etc. So I'm now going to show you how to change your bank account in ESR. So you would go back up to the My Employment section. So you would go to My Pay and Rewards, and then you would click on Bank Account. That will then take you to Manage Payrolls payment screen. You'll see that it's brought up an error here. This is because this employee is not a genuine employee, so there's no bank details recorded for them. But in your record, it would take you to a Manage Payroll payment screen. You would click on the calculator icon in the details column, which would then take you to your bank payment details screen. This is where you would be able to view or amend your bank account details. So to amend your details, you just need to type over the information that's already there, and then you would click apply, which could be found at the top right-hand corner of the page. Then you would need to click submit. You'll then receive a message at the top of the page confirming that your changes have been applied. If you wanted to go back and check that the information has has become effective, you would just click on My Pay and Rewards and then Bank Account, and you'd go back into that section to see that your changes have taken place. If you needed to change your home address in ESR, you would click on My Personal Information. Then you would click on Personal Information. And in here, you can view your basic details, your home phone number and email addresses, and the address that's recorded in ESR. So if you needed to change this section, you'd click on Update. You've then got the option to correct or amend the address, or you can enter a new address if you've moved. So we're just going to go with enter a new address if you've moved, and you would click on Next. You can change the effective date in here, and then the quickest way to load your address would be to click on the magnifying glass at the side of Find Address. Enter the postcode of the address, and then you would click Go. That would then list all the properties that have that postcode, and you would need to find the correct address and use the Quick Select column to load the address details into the field. You would then click on Next, and you'll be presented with a screen that shows the current details at the moment and what your proposed change is. Providing everything is correct, you would click on Submit. You'll then receive confirmation that your changes have been applied, and you would just click on the little portal icon on the top bar, and that will take you back to your portal page. If you wanted to change, view, or add a new emergency contact, you could do that in this section by clicking on My Personal Information, clicking on Contacts, so you can see your emergency contact there. You can remove this one, you can update the information, and you can add a new one. And then you would just follow the various different instructions until you submit the change and you receive confirmation that the change has been applied. That completes today's training. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for your time today. Thank you.